I do want to talk about an opinion piece you wrote for us last year. It was about the blatant sexism that you and others encountered at the Marijuana Business Conference in Las Vegas last year. Tell me what that was like, walking those convention halls, what the stories that you heard from other women. I know I reached out to you and asked you to write this piece because I was disappointed to hear that that was the case.
Yeah, it was a really interesting feeling to be, one of the most prominent female faces in the cannabis movement nationally. And there are many other women who are doing really important work. This lady is one of them. But to be one of those folks who stands at the front of the cannabis industry and to feel like I did when I was a cocktail waitress 20 years ago. And to know that if people were treating me like that, they were surely treating other people far worse. So I was fed up. I was done with, being evaluated based on my bits, not
Right.
my brains. And that became so distressing. And so we started talking about it. I started hearing stories from other women, and I just couldn't say nothing anymore, because the things that we had been trying weren't working, and so we had to raise our voices. And it's not just about the way that women are treated in this industry. Mm-hmm. It's the way that people are treated broadly, if they are disempowered in any way or not part of, the dominant social group, which is wealthy white men. And obviously, this is not a blanket statement.
Sure.
There are
and
lots
it's not
of
cannabis specific.
And it's
No,
not. It's definitely
that's the biggest issue.
Right.
I mean, we're looking for funding for companies right now, and we can't find women on the other side of the table. Right. To invest, and it's systemic, and that's why it's so exciting, because we can change
like
things now.
Silicon Valley, it's precisely like any other industry. Even industries that are built for women. If you look at cosmetics industries and whatnot, and mm-hmm. when companies outside of the cannabis industry try to appeal to women, by what do you call it? Shrink it and pink it.
Shrink it and pink it.
So shrink it and pink it.
So, they just take whatever the product is and make it a little smaller,
like
and make it pink,
jersey.
And it's the girl version.
Right.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about cannabis. It's not everybody. It's not every white dude in cannabis. It's mm-hmm. not, and in fact, it's not just, it's not about anything that's special to this space. It's about the fact that we have, we're building something new. We're building something out of whole cloth. This regulated cannabis industry, coming, of course, from a culture that for so many years has, used women as half-naked bong props, mm-hmm. and if you look at cannabis culture since the 60s or 70s, the representation of women has been really objectifying, sexualizing, and not recognizing women as empowered whole human beings. Mm-hmm. So we're coming from that, we're building something new, and if we don't start trying to shift the dialogue now about what that means to have women represented in this industry in an equitable manner, to have people of color represented in an equitable manner, to present opportunities for bright folks who might not be as socioeconomically well-positioned as others, we need to start those conversations now so that we can, in fact, build a better kind of industry.
And it's a point that you made in that op-ed, and I've also heard Jane say the same thing, but this is a new industry. If we can make this change in the way of thinking now, as opposed to 50 years down the line when legal marijuana is an everyday thing,
mm-hmm. Right.
then maybe that'll change how it looks 50 years down the line.
Precisely. I mean, there's no reason for those kinds of attitudes to become entrenched in something that doesn't need to have entrenched negative attitudes.